What's up, family? Today, we're gonna have a fun little session at the gym. We're gonna do a little leg day, glutes focus, but we're gonna do a bit of everything. But before any of that, I woke up thinking about this story. A wise grandfather tells his grandson, inside each of us, there are two wolves in a constant battle. One embodies good, like love and kindness, while the other represents evil, like anger and greed. The grandson asks, which one wins? The grandfather says, whichever one you feed. I want you to take a moment, think about that, and let me know what you think in the comments. Exercise number 1 of this glute fantastic session is going to be hip thrusts. I have never had one of these machines before, so I am really excited to try it because we all know the hardest part of hip thrusts is setting the damn barbell up. So let's give it a go. You can obviously just use a normal barbell bench hip thrust setup, which is what I normally do. But today we're going to spice it up because I have this machine. Very important. Hip thrusts need a hip thrust pad because otherwise you're really going to limit how much weight you can lift. It hurts your hip bones, it hurts your pelvis. Get you a good chunky pad. You can buy them from Amazon. Sometimes the gyms have them, but you need one. Believe me, because it hurts. As always, we're starting this exercise with no weight. Okay, let's talk form. You want to sit on the machine, you want to set your legs up so that they're about shoulder width apart. You want to angle your toes out a little bit. You want to put your shoulders on the bench or the box or whatever you're using. Get yourself set up with a bar on top of you. Tuck your chin in and look forward. Tilt your pelvis. Do not have an arch in your back when you lift. And just drive in through your feet, using your glutes to get you up. We've done our warm-up sets, and we're now going to add some weight to it onto working sets. I love them so much. She's got such big eyes. They've been a big one with Chungus. We've been bulk season. Bulking, it's been bulking. Excuse me. You're a sweet little thing, ain't ya? You're a sweet little nugget, ain't ya? Big Hongus Chungus. Let me tell you right now, I love dogs and I kind of like this machine, but I kind of prefer the barbell. I'm a simple woman. I feel like I'm only lifting, normally I lift maybe 2 to 3 times what I'm currently lifting, and this feels hard because maybe my feet are in the air, normally they're on the ground. So I also have lipstick on my shoulder. No one was kissing my shoulder, I kissed my shoulder. So that's why you shouldn't wear white and you shouldn't wear lipstick. But I like being a gym baddie. Cheeky little monkeys they are. They smelled wolfy all over me. I don't know where to put my hands. Oh God, I got the fear. Please never let me lose my way. Glutes got glutified. Chungus, Chungus. Exercise 2, squats. We're gonna use this bad boy right here. I love this machine, but you can also just do standard barbell squats, you can do dumbbell squats, but I'm gonna do this one. Recently really feeling straight leg trousers. I would say they look really classy, but they currently have mud, dust, and all kinds of weird gym things on them, so 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Ooh, posture. Stop slouching. I see you watching this hunched straight in your back. another 1 minute rest. Normally I prefer 2 to 3 minute rests, but today I'm a bit short for time. This on my cap, this is Wolfie. Except for he's just got a bigger head here. In real life, he's got a small snibber head. One more. Today's gym motto is this one. Never give up, never show weakness. Wrap. Exercise number 2. We're doing seated leg extension. I love this machine because I like the feeling of the burn. It's a nice kind of pain. Very easy to go to failure safely because you're stable. No excuses really not to just go like pretty nuts on it. So let's get to it. On to the next machine. Let's do some quads. Easy. Didn't even feel that. Little secret between us. That was horrible. Let me do something dramatic. I know I said I don't always need angry music, but I want something about betrayal. Basically in this song, he just talks about how all his friends betrayed him. Each lift is for your enemies. Each lift you fail, they win. He's saying, I'm not praying that you love me, just save me. But you don't need anyone to save you, because you can save you. I'm broke too many times. I'm broke too many times. In my head, by the way, I sound exactly like the guy. So I don't want to comment on my singing. Final exercise. So we've worked our quads, we're going to work our hamstrings now. I really like the lying down one. It looks kind of silly and it kind of looks like I'm doing nothing, but I promise you, everything is stable apart from your hamstrings, which is great. I'm gonna use some baby weights. Don't underestimate the baby weights. So, I'm in the mood for a bit of a struggle, because I live for it sometimes. So we're gonna do a round, we're gonna go to failure, we're gonna take off some weight, we're gonna go to failure, we're gonna take off some weight, we're gonna keep going to failure until we cannot go to failure no more. King says finished. What have we got now? Let me hear you say it. No, we're not going home, we're stretching. Got to oh, it actually feels kind of good. Whoa. Stretch the upper body. All right, guys, that is a wrap. My legs are destroyed. Thank you for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Go to the gym in the interim, okay? Check out my platter. Turkish Mediterranean breakfast. Salad, chips, and Turkish coffee. I love these Turkish coffees. So good. My shoulder is still injured. So I'm only doing leg day, but yesterday I did some skipping because if you're injured, you've got to work around an injury, okay? You can't just give up. All I've been thinking about this week is that I need to stop being so focused on the long-term goal and just forgetting present moment life, because it's going to sound so cliche, but tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I'm always like, oh, but when I get there, or when I get this, or when my shoulder stops being injured, and when I can finally train again, and something miraculous is going to happen. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to get there tomorrow. And also, when I do get there tomorrow, then what? I'm probably just going to keep moving my goals around. So I've been thinking a lot about how I need to be more present in the moment. And in the moment, I need to make decisions that align with who I am. And yes, the goals I want in the future, but we also got to live life now, right? You can't just be thinking about tomorrow. I read this thing which was like saying that every decision you make is basically you deciding who you are. So for me, it's now every time I'm doing something, I want to consciously be like, is this who I want to be? So for example, if I start panicking about the future and I'm in the moment where there's nothing I can do to fix it, I guess I can be like, instantly ask myself, okay, but is that who you want to be? The kind of person who just panics about the future 24/7. So I think it's a question of consistently reflecting, which is easier said than done, by the way. But even if you manage to reflect 2 times out of 10, it's better than 0 times out of 10. You've got to stop going through life like a drone, all right? I'm gonna say it to you. You have to start thinking every moment. You have to start actually living. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I? Is this who I want to be? You got to stop just going through the motions and then at the end of the week wondering why you feel so empty. You feel empty because you're not thinking about what you want and who you want to be. Like, I think I did that for a very long time, particularly in my last career. I kind of just went through 6 years of kind of like, I don't know, just in a vacuum, just going through the motions. And I don't want you to do that, okay? I want you to start actually being like, what am I doing? This is life. We have like, God willing, 80, maybe 90 years if we're lucky on this earth. Everything needs to count. Even with your training, stop doing stuff you hate, okay? I get it. We all want a bootylicious booty and shredded abs, but if I hate the way I have to train to get those, what is the point? There's so many different ways you can train. Find something you love. Find something that even in the moment you get something out of it. Like even if it's the struggle you love, or it could be the sport you love. You could do martial arts, you can do weightlifting, you can do purely apocalypse. I think everything needs to be just not going through life empty, okay? Otherwise, what's gonna happen is you're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna be 75, God willing, your grandkid's gonna come up to you and you're gonna be like, damn, I blinked and life passed by. That's one of my biggest fears, just letting everything pass me by. And I don't want that for you either. I want us both to consciously every single day get there and just be awake. So my old job, I think I did it for a variety of reasons. It's kind of like I like math and it was the massiest thing I could think of, banking. And initially it was fun, it was exciting, but after a while I was like, okay, now what? I just felt kind of empty with it. Like I knew that I wasn't going to be there in the long term because I knew I had no passion for it. So if I were to get there in the long term, it was just going to be drone robot grids just doing the motions. Now that I'm self-employed and I run my own business, this is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I just care about stuff a lot more now. And I didn't expect that. I expected a lot of things. I expected it to be hard to be disciplined. I expected it hard to be like making sure I stick to my schedule. And because when you're self-employed, a lot of it needs to be, you need to be disciplined. You need to wake up when you need to wake up and you need to be the one pushing you because no one else is pushing you because you're working by yourself all day long. But the main thing is like now it's balancing how much I care about it because sometimes emotions can get in the way and it's about utilizing them in a productive, correct way. I think my biggest advice, maybe the question I'll answer is when you're deciding what to do with your life in general is take a step back. Even if you have to like actually write this in a notebook, write down why you're about to go down the path you're about to go down. Is it because your mom says you have to, your friends say you need to, your family says so, and your teacher says this is the only way? Write that down. Write down what you think and what everyone else is telling you to think. If they're aligned, great, that's the path you want to go down. But if they're not aligned, then you know that maybe you need to spend a little bit more time figuring out, okay, this isn't maybe what I should be doing right now. There is no right answer to how you live your life because at the end of the day, whether your family, your parents, your friends, society, whoever is telling you that there is one way to live, they're not the one living it, right? It's you. So when you're deciding what to do with your life, you just need to make sure you're doing it for the right reason, okay? Even if stuff goes wrong, even if you've made a decision and you're like, I kind of don't like it, fine, we can fix it. You're never stuck in anything. We can always set a new plan to get you out of your current situation and put you in a new one. Even if it's a little bit hard, even if you have to go through the hard where you're working 2 jobs for a little bit, we will figure it out. You're never stuck. But the question is you have to dig deep and be like, what do I want? And do I want it enough to go through a bit of struggle first? So if you're at a point where you're trying to decide, am I happy? Is this what I want to do? Do I actually want this promotion? Do I want to leave this job? You need to actually sit and think about it. You need to go quiet in on yourself. No one else's opinion, okay? I know sometimes we ask for others' opinions because we respect them and we want their advice. But at the end of the day, it's got to come from you because you're the one who's going to be alone, sat at your desk doing that work. You're the one who's going to be alone alone on a low day doing it. So you have to make sure that you were alone also when you made that decision. I think with everything in life, there are positives, and you could be working in a company you love. The positives could be you love your team. Cons could be any one of those people could leave or be fired. When you're working by yourself, the positives could be that you love being your own boss. Con could also be that sometimes it's lonely. Like I have days sometimes where I barely speak a word. Like I'm by myself, I have Wolfie, I have my partner, but everyone's busy, right? Like there's days at my corporate job, I always had someone to chat to. Anyone. Could be small talk, could be any kind of talk. But on the con side, on the flip side, now when I'm not in the mood to talk, I don't have to talk. Whereas then you had to make small talk. Everything has pros and cons. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what do you want? My favorite motivational speaker. So I have this thing, no one judge me. I'm corny as hell. I'm sure you see it in some of my posts. I love motivational chatter. Since I was young, I used to have like little quotes everywhere, like no risk, no return. What's done is done. Like so many. And now that's evolved into, I just listen to loads of those like speeches, which are like, never give up. Like when things go wrong, when life's hitting you down. And I just listen to them on repeat. My current favorites are Jocko Willink, David Goggins, both very different characters. And then after that, I just listen to a bunch of compilation people. So yeah, I do particularly like the really like loud emotional ones. I'm one of these people that likes to get shouted at a lot, like never give up. Like I like that. I find that very calming, weirdly. So yeah, I will have those on repeat all day long. And you know what? One day I'm going to make one for my YouTube channel and you guys are going to see it, and I'm going to put dramatic music in the background and I'm just going to be talking real intense. What I want to leave you with is two things. Number one, the decisions you make today define you. It may feel like a small thing, like am I going to scroll for 10 more minutes? Am I going to snooze the alarm for 5 more minutes? Am I going to skip the gym and go tomorrow? But your whole life, the only thing it is a collection of small decisions, okay? Who you are and how your brain adapts, how bold you are, how brave you are, how dedicated you are. You only get that from the small decisions. So next time you have something and you're at a crossroads and you can't decide which way to go, ask yourself, is this the person I want? There is no right answer. This is your life. Only you can answer it, but you have to ask yourself and be honest. Is this who I want to be? Second thing, if you are low right now, this too shall pass. The only reason you are here is because you have made it through every single low in your life that you thought you wouldn't make it through. And I know you've been there. I know all of you have. I know you can picture them right now. I know you're thinking about the times in your life where you have felt so low that you weren't going to make it past. And you made it because you're still here. So this too shall pass. Go out there, go to the gym. I know it sounds small, but I promise you movement is going to help. Go to the gym, go for a run, go for a walk, do martial arts, whatever your vice is. It doesn't even have to be outside. Do some press-ups on the floor. Move. I promise you, moving will be the first step to mental clarity. You got this. And also, don't forget to enjoy the process, right? There's no point in succeeding if you hate the whole thing the entire way. Have fun. I love you. Bye.